and calm, crystal clear, calm, clear.
Hello, welcome to Our Power is Within podcast. I'm your host, Chasmith, and my mission for this podcast is to inspire you to take your power back and to realize that you are the healer that you have been looking for all along. And to remember that we are all capable of healing in mind, in body, and in soul. Happy New Year! A little late. I am so sorry that I have been missing in action this whole year. Almost, an entire month? My goodness, time is flying by already. For those of you that have been avid listeners and around a while, you might have noticed there hasn't been any new episodes in over a month, and I am truly sorry. I think that it's a very fair thing to give you all a heads up and let you know what to expect, especially if you have become used to showing up in the podcast app every week to listen to something new. I have to say, I had plans for this wonderful New Year's episode to launch January 2nd, and it was going to be all about the long haul healing journey. And then I woke up on January 1st so incredibly ill. Yay, Happy New Year to me! But hey, I'm not feeling sorry for myself. It knocked me down really hard this time, and I am still recovering. And although it's been a really hard start to the new year, I am so grateful because I have learned so much in this experience. I have had several huge epiphanies, and I have gained some real clarity around what my body and I need to feel supported to heal. So, once again, evidence for me that good always comes in all situations. It's kind of crazy when you when you're so sick that you can't leave your bed or even do anything, how much time you have to go inward and reflect. That is what really gave me this beautiful opportunity to have these epiphanies, which is awesome. With that said, I am feeling like I might need to take a bit of a break from the podcast. And I'm not sure what that looks like yet. I'm not sure if I will totally step away for a break or if I might be much more picky about guests and topics and maybe post one episode a month for a little while as opposed to weekly. Or heck, I might even be inspired to just jump on and do some solos and share with you all a little bit about my personal journey over these next few months as I really focus on my healing, which, if I'm being honest, is something I have not given much priority to over the last 1.5 years. I have just been feeling very overcommitted and pulled in too many directions. I realized that I have gotten so far away from living a life aligned to my truth that I some days don't even know who I am anymore. I love this podcast. I know that. I truly do. I love all the wonderful guests that I get to host and meet and connect with. I love the messages I get from listeners all the time, sharing their wins and joys from the podcast. I love all the connections that are made between guest coaches and listeners. And it all has been and is so very special to me. However, with that said, it is also an incredibly time-consuming commitment. And between the time demands and the pressure I put on myself around the podcast and finding myself in a constant state of stress because I'm juggling all of that commitment with also my job that I do go to regularly, which helps pay my bills, I've just noticed I felt a lot of overwhelm. And I've been realizing that I have had no extra steam left in the tank to say yes to living, to doing the things that bring me the greatest joy. And reflecting on my 2023, I see how I was basically just working and surviving. But I don't want to just survive. I am sure many of you can relate when I say I want to thrive. And so something has to give. I have to be willing to get something, or I should say, I have to be willing to set something aside for a while so that I can also have time to focus on myself and creating joy. And if I'm being really transparent, I've realized that I don't even know what brings me joy anymore. I've gotten so stuck in a rut. I just feel a bit lost. I do know that I truly want to work remotely. I dream of being able to focus on a remote income with flexible hours so that I can have the freedom and energy to also focus on my well being and say yes to the things that sound juicy and exciting to my sacral center and light me up. I'm not sure what it will all look like, but I declare it will be. But in order for that to be, I think I really need to reconnect with that true self and get her back on board, get her back in charge, leading the way. These past few weeks really showed me how much I have lost faith in my body's ability to heal, despite everything I have learned on the podcast and all the evidence, despite my mission statement. Sometimes there is such a thing as too much information. And I was finding myself constantly getting tugged in so many directions that I went into a freeze state and just did nothing at all for a while. I'm sure some of you can relate to that, right? I feel like a lot of us in this community, we become like expert information seekers. We get so good at gathering information, but the beauty is not in the gathering of the information or the information itself, but the embodying of what we learn. So for a while, I think I need less noise, less distraction, less in order to create more healing, more connection to truth, more connection to God, more connection to self, and to thriving in an aligned life. While I feel that I have taken a massive step backwards in my healing journey, I know enough to know that I am not starting over. And I am beyond confident that this experience is going to catapult me into the biggest step ahead of healing that I have ever had. So for now, I'm going to, I've actually already started fully recommitting to a consistent neural retraining daily practice. It is time to replace some of these old default pathways that have snuck back in with new ones that I choose to re-empower myself. And you guys, oh my gosh, honestly, I am excited. I am truly excited. I admittedly have been in resistance to any form of healing, consistent healing practice, mostly since I stopped doing DNRS after the first 12 months. So all of 2023, I have just been in massive resistance. But I wonder why, because the true best I've ever felt was during and after those 12 months that I consistently did brain retraining before so many new stressors came into my life when I didn't feel equipped to handle them in a productive, supportive way. But now I do. I really do. I feel like I'm approaching brain retraining from an entirely different perspective this time, from a whole new self, a whole new mindset, and a much deeper understanding. I feel like brain retraining is a gift from God, and I'm just really excited to overcome this resistance and get to use this gift. There are a few other things I obviously plan to do besides just brain retraining, like say yes, yes, yes to more of life's little pleasures, to joys, to adventures, and anything else that feels exciting and aligned. I already wrote a list of all my old neurology that I want to redirect, And I wrote a list of the true self qualities I want to rewire back into. And that feels exciting and juicy. With all that said, I'm excited for this journey. I'm excited to share it with you. And in the meantime, I just want you all to be awesome, to be unapologetically you, to make sure you pause and take the time you need for reflection, to connect with yourself and whatever or whoever God is for you. In this stillness, find what matters to you and say yes to more of that. Honor your truth and what is real for you. Focus more on embodying what you learn rather than needing to learn it all, because we don't need to know it all. We just need to know what we need to know at any given moment and try that shit on and practice it. Connect with people in any capacity you can, whether it is in person or virtual. Figure out ways that you need in order to feel supported and ask for that support. Do not be shy. You are worth it. We all are. Find ways to create joy every day, even the most simplest little forms of joy. And make sure you smile and laugh as often as possible. Love yourself more than anything and find a way to truly love yourself through not just a feeling, but the actions you take. And more than anything, know that I love you too. Every single one of you. Every person who is listening right now, you are one of my heroes. Because if you are listening to something like this, then you are dedicated to this journey in yourself. You are committed to your healing and you are a warrior. So please don't ever give up. Don't give up. I know many of you are on this long haul journey with me, and that's okay. Listen, stop comparing your journey with anyone else's. I spent 3 years listening to all of these testimonies of people who heal in 6 months or 9 months or 1 year, but our paths are different. And just because it takes some people longer, it is okay. Healing can be messy and hard, and it's perfect and it's all okay. Don't beat yourself up. You aren't doing anything wrong. We are all doing it right. Remember, we cannot miss what is for us. We just can't miss. My perfect storm happened mid 2018, and here I am, early 2024, still figuring it out. And you know what? It's okay. I know healing is still for everyone, and it's still possible for me. It's still possible for you and for all of us in our own timeline. That is it for now. If you really made it this far into listening to my rambles today, thank you for being with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheers until next time, my friends.
Almost years gone by. All those miles